Hello, welcome again. Today we are going to fix this Honda EX800 generator that I acquired on eBay. Pretty nice little unit. Supposedly the previous owner stated that it runs and generates power but won't stay running. It starts up with starter fluid and then dies. So the first thing I do here, noticed that in the carburetor, and if you can see it, but it is jammed all the way to, well, no, you can just move it, but it's very gummy and very hard to move. So that tells me the carburetor is more than likely dirty and definitely needs to be taken apart and cleaned up. So we got some tools here. Let's see if we can take this apart, clean it, and see if she'll stay running. Let's see how the gas tank looks here. It's not too bad. A little bit of rust, but it's not too bad. Yeah. We'll definitely still need to be cleaned up in here. So it's not haven't been sitting that long. But it's nice. Let's go ahead and pop the air cover and we'll take a look at this carburetor here. I got something a little, probably will be a little quicker. There we go, that's much better. It's a cute little carburetor here. Going to the 8mm, I believe. It is. Let's go ahead and have my adapter. Break these suckers open. It's a little breather. Just fish it out. And there it is. There's the carburetor. Pull this hose out. Looks nice and dry. Let's make sure that it operates. Turn the fuel on. Well, that's some old gas, but it does push through, so that means once you put fuel in it, fuel should come out. Mind you, this is going to be a short video because I don't have that much memory on my phone to make it more extended. So this is going to be just a nitty-gritty of how this thing's going to work. So here's the carburetor. So it's not a lot of fuel in there at all, but you see that it's kind of gummy. It's not that stiff now, but still pretty stiff. So we're going to hit it a little bit of carb spray. Just to free that thing up ever so much. Yeah, that's much better. Let's see, put that there. Don't lose your linkage or be screwed. There's the return springs there. Let's open the bowl up. Looks like it takes a 13 mil. I was wrong. It takes a 12. 12 does a better job. Let's open her up. Looks like, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like someone has already been in here. You see the bowl, it's actually kind of rounded. Interesting. Ball's been, it's not too shabby. A little dirty. Not the worst I've seen. Could have been better. The jet. I can blow through it just fine, actually. So it looks like someone has been in here and cleaned it up. Yep, I can see it go through just fine. Weird. Cool. So make sure that this passes through. Yep. Yep. No fuel goes when the float was level, and fuel, well, air passes through when the float's down. So that tells me that it is good. Interesting. I'm gonna go grab some gas. This could be one little second here. I'm gonna grab some gas and make sure, double make sure, that we get gas through the system here. Make sure it's not even starving. The gas tank do need to be removed and cleaned up, but again, this is just a nitty-gritty to make sure that it operates. There we go. And fuel shuts off. How crazy will it be if I just put this carburetor back together? We'll put it back on the machine and the sucker starts and stays running. That'd be pretty cool. Now would it? Looks like the gasket they use for this is not original because it's kind of folded, but that shouldn't be an issue. Parts for these things are not easy to come by. This is a relatively rare machine, even though I say that, and there's a lot of people who actually own these things. Yeah, clock it. I see it right there. There we go. Let's put this back on. And then we put this back on onto the hole here before we put it back onto the engine. Hope I got it in right. Looks like it. Put this back on. Let's put your return spring back on. This little governor spring. It's very weird how it's mounted, but there we go. Yeah, that's much better. Let's turn the fuel on. Let's put the gas cap back on. That should be good. Let's put this air cover back on. Again, this is just to figure out if the thing runs and things like that. In my other videos, you'll also see that I did something similar to a blower. It's just to see if it runs, and then if it does run, then it's kind of obvious what you're going to do after. Just do the usual maintenance on it. the changing of oil and really cleaning to the carburetor a little bit. Do your typical service. I already checked for oil. She has oil. She has spark. So let's give her. Choke's already on. It's on. Everything looks good. It should start. She runs good, but you notice it just revs up almost basically stuck at full throttle. And the reason for that is that the governor is not operating properly. So, and the spring came off. Oh well. It won't help though because it's not moving properly. And also the gas is kind of leaking out to the hose there. Again, I'm going to try to fix all that stuff up. Looks like someone really screwed with this governor. That's basically it. She runs, and that's all that matters. Gotta straighten this governing out. Someone really screwed this poor thing up. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it's kind of sticky, but now it's running. Alright, did a little bit more repairs off camera since I don't have much memory. Governor fixed. Now it's moving very nice. And the leak was from a pinhole on the hose. Luckily I was able to cut it off and make do with what we got. Everything's all adjusted. Should start. And there you have it. A working EX800. Now, since I finally got the EX800 dialed in, let's do a little bit of a comparison of these two. Everyone knows the 950 bipolar, and I made a video about it, how I repaired it, and whatnot, how I got it. And now the newly acquired Honda EX800. You guys just saw I just did a carburetor clean and perfected it on the governor system and cleaning around there and setting the speed. So now let's talk about these two. First, let's do it the Honda. I'll let it run one more time, and we'll start the 950, and we'll compare on sound, and if the 950 is just as quiet as the almighty Honda, which is known to this day that they make some seriously quiet Honda's generators. So let's turn her on. Should be warm, so I should be able to just start it full. First pull. This is a no load. Alright, gonna shut her back down. Now let's start the 950. Again, same procedure. I added this little plug. It helps a lot. I can move it around much easier. On the last video, it hurts when you move it because it has no lever of any kind to help cushion that movement. Not too bad. I feel the Kohler is slightly louder than the Honda, but not by much. Let me start up the Honda again, and we'll do a both run. You can tell that the Honda is a little bit on the quieter side than the Kohler. The Kohler has a little bit more exhaust sound than the Honda. Honda is muffled pretty well, as expected. Now let's plug up this nice little lamp here. See, she lights up. Do the same on the 950. It also lights up. Just shut both of them down. Which one will you pick? I like the Honda better. Even though the Kohler makes a bit more power than the Honda, but not by much. This one's rated at 900 with a 950 surge, and this one's rated at 800 surge with a 700 running. Both have the two 120 plugs and the 12 volt DC power outputs. Both have fuel gauges. This one reads very well, even though it's empty, but I did put some gas in it. Again, I'll still have to take the tank out and clean it up a bit. And this one's kind of faded. You can't really see it, but yeah, a couple of polishes. You see that little red thing there? A little bit of polishing up, it'll clean this up. Both are Japanese. They're both pretty well made. The one advantage with the Honda, that even though the parts are hard to come by, they are still available. And you can get a manual for it. They are cross-referenced with the EX800 that everyone loves and glorify on. This is basically the baby brother of one. But the parts are still somewhat available versus the 950. You can't find any information about them, nor find parts. So it's quite more of a rare unit, and you'll be more screwed if this thing ever goes versus the 800, since parts are slightly more readily available. Plus, they don't really die, which really reflects on their value of what they sell today. 950 not so much, unless it goes to the right person. But there's my complete video of how I acquired this Honda. Again, got it from eBay for a really good price. Previous owner stated that it didn't run. It does run, but it was 8 of starting fluid, but won't stay running. And as you can see, that it needs a carburetor work and a little bit of TLC and a little fiddling here, fiddling there, just like with the Kohler. Same deal. Governor was stuck. Got them both running beautifully. So, on to that. That's it for these two. On the next video, I have a KG 2900 series Kawasaki generator that I was going to fix up because it has a no spark issue. We're going to go ahead and look into that later. I also meant to do a repair video on this generator, as stated on the previous video. Unfortunately, it was too easy and too short of a video to make. Plus, there's thousands of videos of the same thing being repaired. The carburetor obviously was not good. Actually, the whole carburetor was messed up, so I replaced it with a more genuine Nikki carburetor. Since the other one was a Chinese-made one, supposedly a newer series, but it carries more seals and they cause more problems. I will start it, but again, there's so many videos of them starting and running. Also, it's relatively loud. Don't want to really annoy the people out here. And my fiance, who's in the house, don't want to make a lot of noise. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment. Well, yeah, these are really beautiful pieces, and I'm very happy to own them. Hopefully one day someone else can take an ownership of these and make use of it and take care of it as much as I can. Alright, guys, later.